Do you know what I mean?
Which
so
I guess is fair
he
enough on some levels, but...
And then he disappeared for like 3 hours the other day, didn't he?
Yeah, that's the thing.
That was part
he
of the
really...
task though, wasn't it?
Yeah,
But you don't know that.
Yeah.
The thing is, obviously, they called one housemate to the diary room, but who's to say that it wasn't predetermined that it would be Mario?
Well, he got up and run in there.
He got up.
No one else had a chance.
And when does he ever run in ever? You're normally out of there like
me and Joe
like at a fucking bullet a gate.
Yeah.
I don't even bother getting up because I know you're going to beat me there.
I didn't even like. I would have got there first.
When was that? Though? When did he get really? When did he get up really quickly? What was that for?
That
For
was
the sticky task.
The sticky task, the glue and tape task.
And if you think about it, his thing that he said he had to do
They
had
said,
actually
one
nothing to
housemate
do with the
come in,
task
he
because
run
he
in
failed.
there, and then he said that morning he had asked for a special task, and they said they wouldn't give him one. And then as soon as someone was asked, he ran straight in there before anyone had a chance, and then he disappeared for like 2-3 hours.
Though when he did go in, obviously he was taken off somewhere else, and I freaked out about something, standard procedure. And I went in, and there was a box on the floor that said "scientist" on the side, and it was empty, so like a costume box.
Yeah.
So, you know, there is the potential. But then you could look at it further and think, like, they knew that I wanted to get in the diary room, and they just so happened to let me in then. Did they leave that box on the floor so I would go,
there. Yeah.
oh yeah, he was being scientist.
Yeah.
Da, da, da.
Because they never leave anything in there, do they? They're
No.
so like thorough.
There's
in what
no way
they
they'd
do.
have taken that chance, because then we'd have known the
Yeah.
extra because they know I'm an absolute gobshite, right? So they would have expected that I would have come back to you guys and said, oh, he's part of the task, he's being the scientist.
Yeah.
But I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I think I might have surprised them.
And he was allowed to keep the glasses.
Which never happened.
Yeah.
Is that something to say, oh yeah, I did have a costume, I was allowed to keep the glasses. I'm really, and this is nothing against him, like obviously this is a game, like if I was asked to be a mole the whole time, I'd do it. But I do think there's a little more to Mario's story than we're seeing right now. Like, how trippy would that be? He comes in dressed as a mole, but we think he's not a mole. Then it turns out he is a mole, and then he gets derobed. But actually, secretly, he's still a mole.
Because when I told him, when I asked him about it, he was telling me very, very quietly. But I'm like, what difference does it make whether you tell me quietly or not? Because they're going to hear our conversation.
We went
Because I asked him, I said, you can stop if you want, man, because if you're going to get in trouble for this, they might call you in, do you know what I mean? And he's like, no, it's all right. So he goes, it's all right, I'll just keep talking. And he goes, the tree is, and he started telling me about the tree. And now he's claiming that he's been in trouble for the tree, but I wonder if he really has been. Get us walking around.
And then, because the way, remember when he came out of the diary room and he announced, like, hey guys, I'm just telling you as a group, I'm not allowed to talk about the tree anymore. And it's like, really, who did he talk to the tree about? He spoke to me and Kiva about the tree.
Well, he told me I asked him when he was asleep and all you guys went out into the spa or whatever, and he was asleep, and I woke him up and I said, the tree's in the bathroom, isn't it? And he didn't confirm it or deny it. But then I said, am I the only one that knows about the tree? And he said, yes. And I said, not even Benny knows. And he goes, not even Benny. I said, so no one knows about this tree thing. I said, why have you told me then? I said, why me? I said, just because I sleep in the same bed as you. I said, have you been given a task to tell me and to see if I'll tell anyone else or...
How long ago was this?
Today. This is today.
Because he told us this 2 days ago.
This is this afternoon.
When he told us, right, we were obviously sitting here kind of talking about it further, and we were going, maybe it's here, maybe it's here. And then it was like he overheard what we were saying, because about 30 seconds later he walks back and he goes, you're very close. And walked out straight away, wouldn't let us ask.
But then as soon as we started looking, Big Brother came over the tannoy and was like, this is Big Brother, will Shabby and Kiva please stop tampering with the fixtures and fittings?
Yeah, there's something dodge going on then.
Yeah, and he just goes, you're very
Because why would he say to you today, you're the
that
only one that knows, when we didn't bring it up with him, he brought it up with us. He said, I have to tell you something.
And it was actually, the whole reason it started because he was he was talking to me in my bed, and Shabby left, and I go, so tell me your little secret.
Because he was banging on about
I didn't say anything else about it. He just goes, right, it's something to do with this house. I've seen the room and I've seen it.
But then
it's living.
But then I wonder, would they have exited him if we had have all picked Mario and picked him as a mole, and would he have been evicted last week? Or last week? If,
okay.
Or are you convinced that he's working
this
for them?
is a crazy theory.
Or is he working
but
for them?
who's to say that when I picked Mario to take over from me in the eviction on Friday, who's to say he actually went up for eviction? We don't know, do we? Potentially, for all we know, it was Dave, Ben, and Joban, and he is here, and he will not be evicted because he's here on a task. You know, we don't know that they put his number up so people could vote him. If he's been a mole this entire time, he's going to be immune from eviction until his task is
It's
up.
over.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Because I didn't push him on the whole parent thing. I never asked him anything about that. I said, if you don't want to talk about nothing, you don't tell me anything. And that's when he told me about the tree. He's like, it's got nothing to do with that. He goes, it's to do with the tree.
That's what he said. There's nothing to do with his parents. It's to do with the tree.
Yeah, it's to do with the tree.
And
that's
it'll come
exactly
out
what
in
he
like
said to us.
in week
No,
6 or
and that's when
whatever.
he started telling me about the tree. And he kept rolling on with it. I was asking questions, obviously.
What was he saying?
I asked him where it was. And he said, I can't tell you.
He's
He
seen it.
said-
Did he
said,
say to you what he said to us? He's met the tree in person.
Yeah, he's
Yes.
met him. Yeah.
He said, I said, have you touched it, physically touched it? He goes, yes. I said, have I? And he goes, you probably have. He goes, but you wouldn't know about it. He goes, all I can tell you is it's not outside, it's in the house.
And it's a living thing. He told us he met the tree in person. He's a Cockney geezer. He couldn't remember how he dressed though, and he met the tree in person during
That's what I
his
said.
mole task.
He said something funny about that because he said the tree you can touch it. He goes, it's just like you and me. And I'm like, what, a person? I said, are you the tree? And he goes, no. And then he walked out.
I also came up with another theory. We think he has a twin.
Yeah, but I kind of believed him when he said he didn't.
Oh yeah, we asked
Whereas
him.
sometimes some of the things he said, this is the weird thing I have with Mario, is that I actually really like him. But from day one, there's been something that I haven't quite got to grips with about him. And then I thought for a while, oh, it's because he's quite mysterious. He doesn't let on much. But sometimes he's great. And then other times he's a right cagey bastard.
He spaces out as well.
He's on a task and has been
Yeah.
from day one.
Like, how could someone space out that much? Like, I'll be going, Mario, and then he's like, oh, sorry, I was just... And he's deep, deep in thought.
And hang on, this whole raffle thing he says he came in on, right? Who's to say that ever happened? Who is to say that ever happened? Because I was standing...
There's no way that they were leaving that to chance.
No, of course there wasn't. And I was standing
There was only-
next
it
to
was only him
Mario
that was
on
coming
launch
in.
night.
Because there was people there that were physically unable to do
Yeah.
what he's done.
Oh, it was totally rigged.
And the thing is,
I don't
the
think
sticker,
it
the
even
sticker was on
happened.
his microphone,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Because we looked at his thing.
Yeah.
It was already Mario.
But the way
his
he
number was on
described
there.
the feeling when he was picked, I believed. He convinced me. Do you know that kind of way?
See, I want to tell you something, but something I was told on the phone, but like I'll just get bollocked. I was told about a housemate with a secret on the phone just when I was told that I was one of the 80 to 90 people. They mentioned something about a housemate with a secret, which made me think, am I the housemate with a secret?
You told
Why
you
did
were
tell
one of
me?
80 to 90 people.
Yeah.
Were you?
Well, no. But when they rang up and said
Yeah.
you'll be part of our launch night, but they
yeah.
didn't tell me. it
No,
was
no,
80
no,
to
they
90
didn't tell
people.
me either.
He's
They're gonna
on a
want us,
fucking task, man.
They're going to shout over the town right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I think.
So what's the crack with this secret thing then? All I heard is it was a secret that was going to come out in week 6 or whatever.
Yeah, that was me that said that.
It was you that said
That
that.
was a rumour,
That
the
was a
week
rumour.
6 thing. But I definitely.
Do you think he can
heard
just
from
appear in there?
A good
Because-
source that there's
No,
a
we can't.
housemate
That
here
wall's
with
connected.
And he seems the
Yeah,
obvious
I reckon it's that.
choice.
But he said he touched it.
And
Yeah,
it seems
so
weird that he told John James today about the tree and said that nobody else knew, knowing full well that me and Kiva knew. And he
I'm
knows
gonna
that up
question you
until
about
the last couple of days, we
gonna
haven't
question
actually
you about
spoken that much.
I'm going to question you about that.
I don't know if you should. I think maybe we should leave it. I don't know if I want him to know we're onto him yet.
So you guys have basically been told by Big Brother not to mention the tree, or you come
No,
under
we
the
haven't,
rug?
we haven't been told anything.
He came
I just
out-
went and asked him about it right then. When they went in there to grab the band-aids, I said, what's the deal with the Tree of Temptation? Are we allowed to talk about it? And he said, if you continue... She said something, she said it like in a poem. She's like, if you continue to piss it off or keep looking for it or whatever you're doing, you'll feel its wrath. And I said, I'm not really that bothered really. Said if he does as much as Bob Ryder, it's 2 fists of fuck all, isn't it? So I don't really
Oh,
care.
John James.
Don't really care about the
Or
trees
Davina
crash.
McCaw.
So, and I said, so are we allowed to talk about it? And she goes, if that is all. I went, all right then. So she didn't say we weren't allowed to talk about it. So
What about that tree that Davina's on?
I already asked him about that. I seen him talking to that before.
You said Mario talking to it?
Yeah. I saw him
Because
talking.
that's a real tree, dude. With
Yeah, I know. I saw him talking to it, and I questioned him about that too. I said,
What did he say?
I said, why were you talking to the tree? And he goes, oh, I was just saying goodbye to the bird because the bird hasn't said anything yet.
oh, I saw him talking to the tree
Yeah.
on the eviction night.
Yeah. And he also confirmed, he said, I tried to get the Tree of Temptation to talk to me, but it wouldn't talk to me.